do something a little bit different. We're going to pack orders together. So you can see a little bit of the behind the scenes at Cantrips Media on how I pack orders, why I pack them the way I do. So let's get to it. Alright, so you have to bear with me. This is the first Monday back since vacation, which means I have a lot of orders to pack, but I figured this would be a great opportunity for everyone to see what I do behind the scenes. I do want to say that I tend to ship website orders first, and they tend to be a little bit fewer since my website's relatively new. And then I worry about Etsy orders. I don't ship internationally on my website, so that's partially why I still have Etsy. Etsy kind of makes that a little bit more feasible for a small business like me. If you guys are looking for something more about running an Etsy shop and stuff, let me know. I can always share what I've learned as well as some resources that I use when I was first setting up. For now, this is about me and Cantrips Media. So here's what I normally do. The first thing that I do is print out all of the order packing slips as well as the shipping labels. So I've already done that. I have this big bad boy over here. He's new, but he's also kind of a piece of junk. The other thing I have is my label printer down there, which saves me a ton of time. Recommended if you are even thinking about packing stuff on a regular basis, because I can literally just slap the label on there and it's done. Instead of before where I would take tape and tape a piece of paper to the package. So in the long run, I'm saving a lot more time. And a lot of this you'll see I do in batches. I do this because it acts like an assembly line. Essentially, I can keep doing something almost mindlessly and then finish that one section, and I end up getting a lot more done than if I had to pack one order and then stop and pack another order, because then you have to think about it a little bit more. I'm sure there's actual theories and things behind that and complicated terms that I don't know and I don't care to know. We're not going to get into that. Let's get to packing orders. Okay, so I got a pile of packing slips. I've got a bunch of labels, and we're gonna go ahead and I lay them out on the table. Now, again, this is after vacation, if you couldn't tell from my hoodie. Because of that, I can only fit a certain number on this table, and I have 47 of them right here. That's not all gonna fit on this table, so I'll do them in batches of about 15, because I know I can fit 3 rows of 5 here. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay that out for you. In the time lapse, you'll see that I picked up some of the sheets and then reorganized. That's because I realized that I was doing the orders in reverse, and I need to make sure that I'm doing the ones that came in to the shop in the order that they were received. I do the orders from my shop first, regardless. But when it comes to Etsy, I have to make sure that the people who have been waiting the longest get theirs first. Most likely I'll have all of them packed today anyway. However, there have been times where maybe I had an appointment or something that I had to get to. I could only pack 20 orders instead of my usual 30. I would do just those 20 in the order that I received them. You'll also notice that I put all the labels, the shipping labels, face down. I don't actually normally do that, but since we're on camera and I don't want to give out customer information, that's how I'm going to do it for this. For Etsy, customers can actually leave you a note on their order. So I'm going to go through and read them, and sometimes I reply on the sheet of paper, sometimes I'll message them depending on what it is. And then once I do that, I'm going to go through and handwrite a note to each person. I do this because I'm one person, so the handwritten notes takes a long time and my hand will be cramping by the end of the day. But I do this because I don't see the customer. I don't really get to interact with them in any other way aside from through those notes. Now, if I had an actual storefront and didn't just work out of my basement, that'd be a different story. However, since some people The only interaction I get from them is that I see that they've placed an order and I ship it. So this is a way for me to kind of reach out, and I can also, in those notes, recognize people who have been frequent shoppers. Obviously, I have a lot of customers, and a lot of you are named like Elizabeth or Richard, so I can't remember everybody's names. However, Etsy has a great feature where it will tell me if someone has ordered something in the past, and then I can look back and see, oh, they ordered this, they're ordering refills for their DM notebook or whatever. And I like to try to make a note of that. And I think it's pretty cool because there are some people who are frequent buyers, and I get to interact with them through that note, even if it's just a little bit. So that's what we'll be doing next. Okay, something else I wanted to note is that I write all of my notes on a little tag. On this tag, I also add a free sticker to the back that I designed, I don't know, a couple years ago. I do need to add some more free stickers, to be honest. I feel like a little sticker that you can put in your journal is just a little bonus, and not a lot of people expect that kind of bonus. But I'm grateful that people are buying from my shop, so adding a little sticker is not anything additional for me personally. And I take a little bit of washi tape and I stick it to the back. Also on here, I tend to put that there is a free sticker on the back as thank you, because I found that I was just writing that all the time and it didn't allow me to actually say anything worthwhile on these little tags. So instead, I put it in print. I also have my new website listed on there, as well as a tag to follow me on Instagram, because that's where a lot of people share images and things like that, and I tend to use Instagram a little bit more frequently than Facebook. So that all goes on the tag. So I'm gonna go ahead and write one out for everybody. So once the notes are written and stickers are attached to them, I should mention I use this washi tape. I don't use my own brand because it just sticks on the back, and also I have a washi tape problem and I own so much washi tape and I never use it really anymore, so I just use it almost like tape in this case. But also it doesn't stick forever if you use washi tape. Kind of the benefit of using washi tape is that it's removable. So that's one thing. Also, I don't know if I said this, but obviously I designed the sticker and the tag and everything myself, and I print it here and I cut it here, and that's a whole different video if we wanted. Sometimes when I do time-lapse videos, you'll see that I'm running back and forth between the printer and the Cricut because that's how I cut all of my things. And sometimes when I'm packing orders, I realize, oh crap, I need 10 more stickers. So I do those in batches as well. The other thing that I do is I also add a little D20 card that calls out my website. Now obviously I won't give this to the people who ordered on my website because they already know I have a website, so why do they need a reminder? However, I give this to all of the people who order on my Etsy store, which is most of my orders at this point because that's where I was selling for over a year. Now I am pushing people to order from my website because my website doesn't have tremendous amounts of fees that Etsy just eats. Instead, if you order on my website, you're actually giving more back to me, the business owner, which helps me put more towards new products and new books and secret projects that I won't be telling you about. So I take this little card, again, designed by me, print and cut here. I put this in with all of the orders that are from Etsy, except for international orders, because again, I can't do international orders on my website. They won't be getting a website card. Next, after they get their little card is to put what they've ordered on the order form. So you're going to move a little bit so you can see how I move about the workshop, as I call it. All of my stuff used to be over here, but then I had to get bigger, better printers. Now I have a little bit of traveling back and forth, but who cares, because I definitely need to get some steps in. Who doesn't? Just following up on that, I'm going to cut some twine. Now I order my twine from a place called The Twinery. I got the slightly green shimmery one because I don't know if you noticed, but the main color for Cantrips Media is teal because I just like that color. So yeah, so I'll go ahead, after I've gotten all of the things laid out, I'll cut some twine. I tend to cut it to the length of my table. That covers most orders, though it's a little bit too much for people who just buy a couple page packs. However, if someone orders 6 or 7 journals, then this won't be long enough and I'll have to add more. And I kind of just estimate at that point. Okay, let's pile up the books. Okay, so some things I did as well that I didn't mention. Once I realized all the items are together, I fold up the little slip and put it in between, whether that's in between a couple of the pages or in between notebooks. I feel like when you order these as a gift, you might just ship it straight to someone and you might not want them to see what's in the gift before they open it. So I tend to slip it in between things just in case that it is bought for someone and they just hand it to them, or you can sometimes tell when someone is sending this as a gift. On Etsy, a customer can add a note or say that it's for a gift for someone, so that helps, but not everybody does that. So just in case, I slip it in between stuff just to hide what it is before they open it. The next step is wrapping everything in tissue paper using the twine and the handwritten note tag that I did in the earlier steps, and then we'll get to actually putting it into an envelope. But I like to wrap it in tissue paper and make it feel like it's a gift from me to my customers, so I want it to feel kind of special, like you're unwrapping a present, so hence the tissue paper. So we'll get to that. Also, I forgot to mention that I used my own design on washi tape. So I actually sell all of these in the store, and I use this to fasten the tissue paper together. I tend to use 3 per package, and I tend to make them kind of small because I use the twine as well to hold it all together. I use my design because I think it's cute and it has a bunch of dice on it, so I think that it really goes with the whole aesthetic, but also it's a little bit of product placement. I'm hoping that people will see it and be like, oh, it's cute, I want some, and then they can buy it. I don't know why the washi tape was doing the talking. So anyway, back to wrapping. Once everything is wrapped in tissue paper, then I will put it in bubble envelopes. I do add a piece of cardboard to any of the items that are a little bit more flimsy, just in case they were to get bent in the mail. A side note for anybody who is interested in more of the nitty-gritty of being an online business, I do tend to pay a little extra for insurance on each order. Say an item gets lost in the mail or it gets bent up beyond recognition by the time it gets to the customer, I can go ahead and refund them their money and be able to make an insurance claim, which would refund me that money for the shipping, since that is the reason that the sale went bad. So it just protects me, and it also allows me to give customers a full refund if something were to happen. Helps a lot, especially for international orders. It does take a couple months sometimes for them to make it, and I've had to give some refunds, but a lot of times the items do end up making it. It just comes like 2 or 3 months after I had originally shipped it. So even though technically I'm at a loss because I have insurance, I tend to just break even on things like that. So now we'll put them in the bubble envelopes. One day I wish to use boxes instead, as I think that would add to the whole packaging experience when you get something from Cantrips Media. But for now, what I can reasonably afford and charge for is the bubble envelopes, and we'll just slap stickers on them. I also have a couple of boxes. These are old paper boxes. This is what my paper comes in when I order reams of paper to make the journals. And I keep the boxes and use them to help me carry orders to the post office, but also for other things because they're pretty heavy-duty boxes. Alright, now I get to do that 32 more times. Now we drive in my AC-less car to the post office box and take all of those to the box. Let's go. Fun facts, the post office box that I normally take my stuff to was full. except for one of them. So I only emptied half. So I have to take it to this other box. And it's hot. And if that doesn't work, then we have to go to the post office. If you like that, subscribe, hit the like button, the usual. We're getting closer to 100 subscribers, which is pretty sweet. If you liked this video and you want to see more behind the scenes, I can even show things like how I make journals, how I design them, things of that nature. But I'm only going to do that if you guys are interested, so let me know in the comments below if you want more behind the scenes. Until next time, see you guys!